Okay, this is Crunch Week, when you got to get your diversity management plan and oral presentation posted to discussion board. In this week's video lecture, what I'm doing now, I'm going to first talk about the paper, and then the oral presentation, and then I'll address your finals week tasks. The diversity plan and the oral presentation have to be posted to discussion board by Sunday night, December 3rd. Please put the name of your organization as the subject line of the discussion board posting. Let's talk about the paper format. As listed, there's a title page and table of contents. That's self-explanatory. An executive summary, though, I want to take a few minutes on because it's a little bit confusing to some students. They know the term, but they often want to make it like an introduction where you say, in this paper I will talk about this, and then I will talk about that, and then I will draw conclusions. No, an executive summary is a summary of the whole paper. It can stand on its own, and that means providing the answers, not saying you will provide the answers later. You got to summarize what's being done now and what you see as gaps. You don't say, in this paper, I will lay out the diversity management plan. You say, the plan consists of these specific elements. You just don't elaborate on them as you do in the paper. The key point is the executive summary needs to be able to stand on its own. If the boss can only read the executive summary, they'll still know what you're recommending and why. I say in the instructions a half page, but you can go up to a page if necessary. The next one is the introduction to the organization. And it's not introduction to the paper, it's just to the organization. I just want you to briefly note the name, where it's located, summarize its functions, and that's why I only say a half page. Current diversity management practices includes what you have already done in your diversity audit and your conflict management audit. Your diversity plan is going to build on the current policy. Analysis of gaps or shortcomings, one page, is where you look at what is done now and give your analysis of what's missing. You may want to bring in research or examples from other organizations. Then comes the meat of your plan. For this main section, I don't include a page limit. It'll take what it'll take. I note that you should include several categories. First is communications, which is anything that's published on paper or online. This means first what's going to be on signs, posters, websites, social media, policy manuals. Second, besides where it's going to be, it's how they will access the information, how it will be disseminated, how do people get it. And realize this happens over time. It's not just a one-shot process because employees come and go. Workforce utilization and affirmative actions. While affirmative action can be many things, here I'm referring to correcting any issues that arise from the workforce utilization analysis. Where does the organization need to improve its diversity representation? If there isn't an analysis available, recommend they do one. You might also note obvious disparities in demographics. Trainings may be for everyone or just for management or supervisors. What kinds of trainings are necessary? How often should they occur? Who's going to take them? Are they mandatory or optional? All these are part of it. Conflict management should address how the organization deals with diversity conflict. It may be part of the general grievance system, or it may be something separate. Note that grievances are generally individual. Group conflict doesn't usually fit into that grievance process. I also included other activities or policy actions for you to put in anything else that you want in your plan. Meetings or gatherings or policies or anything else. And then the appendices section is for any support material you have, including your bibliography or references. And in this part of the description of the plan, where you're selling the plan, include references to research, the law, and other organizational policies to give legitimacy to your recommendations.